Hello, fellow traders. Tis I, TheRumpledOne, coming to you on Thursday, November the 5th, the year 2020. Let's talk trading. The reality of trading. Cold hard truths. Part 8. And I have Walmal on the line. Before we get started, just a reminder, these videos are for educational purposes only, and your results may differ from mine and from Walmal's. So, Walmal, how you doing today?
It's been a good day. One of the things about trading the market is, volatility is our friend, and as long as you're on the right side of the volatility, and I've been lucky that way where I've had a couple losers, but that's part of trading. Never said that you're going to win every trade, but I've been on the right side of more trades than I've been on I've been on the losing side, and because of that, I've made a little bit of money. And, going to be able to put the, as they say, you're going to be able to pay for the lights. but it's been a good day trading today.
So in other words, you made some more square feet for that garage you're going to be building.
Yeah, exactly right. That was not only that, I made my core, plus I made a little bit more than that. So that's exactly right. So, and I'm one of these crazy people. I don't like to buy things on mortgage things. I'm one of these people that likes to go and pay for things. Like when I buy a car, what I do is I actually go, and this is kind of aside from trading, but I think it's good financial advice anyway, even though we're not supposed to give financial advice out, and that is that, you know what, if you can afford it, you can do it, make a car payment to yourself every month and put that in the bank. And then that way, when it's time to go and get a new car, whether it be used, new, whatever, you get the money sitting there. You don't have to sit there and finance and pay interest. Pay interest to yourself. Don't pay interest to other people. It's just a smart thing to do.
Yeah. Oh, and speaking of smart things to do, you told me a story that made me laugh. I could relate to it the other day. I said, hey, you're going to have to share that with the boys and girls and non-binary traders that watch these videos.
Yeah. The other day I had gone to dinner with my son. He had taken my wife and I out to dinner, and it was one of these places I normally don't go to. It was one of these fancy Duke places. I mean, it was pretty elite to go there. Country club atmosphere.
Linen tablecloths, Walter?
I'm sorry?
Did they have linen tablecloths?
Oh yeah. they had tablecloths. They had multiple waiters and waitresses for the tables, and I mean, you were pampered to death. But like I said, I'm more down to earth. I don't go to places like that. My son likes those things, but that's just not me. So, but anyway, we went there and we eaten a really nice dinner. I think we're having some type of reduction, not chicken, but duck. And I mean, it was really good. And there's a table right next to me, right to my right, and we were close enough where I could overhear some of the conversation. And these guys that were there, they were all professional traders. They worked in downtown Atlanta or with some big brokerage or whatever. And I was overhearing some of the conversation. My ears perked up naturally. I mean, that's what I do for a living now. I mean, that's how I make money. It's how I pay the bills. And so anytime I can go and listen, I'll go and listen. Talking about cold hard facts, right? Cold hard fact number one for this video: listen to folks. I don't think do what they say, but listen to them. Take advice from people, especially people who are successful. That they'll probably go a long way. But anyway, while I'm listening, I'm hearing all these things, and I thought it was great. And so when our dinner ended, I walked over to the table and just introduced myself. That's the type of guy I am. I'll walk over to anybody, talk to anybody, and I enjoy talking to people. So I went over and introduced myself and told them what I did for a living. And there was there was four guys at the table, and this younger guy that was sitting at the table, and he says, "Oh, you're one of those amateurs." Because I had said that I was, trading Forex. And it's like, it took me back a little bit, didn't say anything. But an older gentleman sitting at the table says, you know what? You got to watch your mouth. What do you mean? You need to watch your mouth because you know what? There's a lot of people who know, most multimillionaires trading Forex. Know what you're saying before you talk. And I think that, that's a cold, hard fact, too, because, you know what, we need to go and pay attention and learn as much as we can and then act on that. Don't just act. Act on what you know that has been proven out. And, TRO and I, and a lot of other traders are out there following these videos. We're statistical traders. You know, and what is that? Statistical trading is fact. You know, what we're doing is we're basing it on the facts of what happened in the past, and we're going to go and place our trades based on what has happened. You know, what we're seeing is, you know, in the last couple of days, because of whatever reason in the marketplace, you know, we're seeing trades or daily ranges. You know, today's daily range so far on my chart is around 170 pips. I don't know what it is on TROs. The last 2 days before that, 225, 217, huge swings. Okay, I know that because of that, we're getting these huge swings. Statistically, I got a better chance to get maybe a little bit more pips. I'm going to go and take that chance. I'm going to try to get more of those pips. So why not? It's a statistical fact. So what we need to do as a cold hard fact is just go out there, or cold hard. I'm calling it a fact, but a cold hard truth is that, you know, when we see things and we know that those statistics are lining up in our direction, take them good.
Yeah, well, you know, back to that story about the kid, it's one of the things, you know, life is going to, you know, depending on how old you are, you know, the younger you are, the more cold hard facts life is going to, or cold hard truths, life is going to teach you. And the question is, it'll teach you the hard way or it'll teach you the easy way. So when somebody who's walked down the path that you're walking is coming back the other way, or you know, you catch up to them or something, or they might be able to tell you one thing, just one thing that can make all the difference, you know, as you travel that same path. A friend of mine, or actually wasn't really a friend, he was a business associate. And I learned this from him back in the 80s. And he said that whenever he met somebody who was successful, he would ask him the question, can you tell me 3 things that, you know, led to your success? And that's how he became successful at a relatively young age.
Yep, that's a really good sage piece of advice, because the thing is, you know, I think that, you know, personally, I think you can learn something from everybody, even people who are unsuccessful. Maybe the thing you learn from somebody who's unsuccessful is what not to do, you know. But you can learn something from every single person that's out there. But when you find somebody that does something day in and day out, okay, and has been able to be successful at, whether it be, you know, here in trading and Forex and making money doing it, or whether you can be a life thing. You know, you run into people in life that just, you know, you look at them and they're just like, they're so happy, they're so centered. Everything seems to always be breaking their way. And I truly believe that, you know what, things don't just break your way. No, things break your way because you set yourself up so when things break, you're positioned okay. You know, things can, you know, but even people who are in that situation, they have things that do break against them. But it seems to me that those folks who have things break against them that have set themselves up well, the damage that's caused by that just doesn't seem to be as bad. You don't go as far down as a bit. You know, and that there's a truth about trading and all that, and that is that, you know, we talk about risk management, you know, and having all those things in place. You know what? I don't care how good a trader you are. I don't care how good your method is. You know, here's a cold truth, and that is that you're going to have a trade that's going to go against you. You know, I'm just looking at my trade report right now, and I was in 10 trades today, okay? And of those 10 trades, 8 of them were winners and 2 of them were losers. I lost 2 trades, okay? That's usually more trades than I lose on a percentage-wise basis, but I lost 2 trades. And if I did not have my risk management in place and didn't have a plan, you know, to go and be able to trade my way through that, today would have been a losing day. And we can't have that. We need to be setting ourselves up, and we need to be, you know, so that's something, you know, that we need to go and just keep in front of our mind at all times. And then stacking on to what TRO just went and said, find those people in life. Find those people that look successful. You know, find a businessman who's successful. Find someone who's successful in business. You know, and start asking questions. Why? You know, and it may not even be like, you know, let's say the guy sells widgets. You know, we're not interested in selling widgets, but we may be interested, how did you set your business up so that you maximized your profits? You know, what did you do that allowed you to go and make money? Because, you know, the reality is, businessman A could go and sell the same number of widgets, at the same price as businessman B, but businessman B is a loser and the businessman A is a winner.
Well, you're so sexist, though, Walter. It could be businesswoman A and B, or non-binary business, business person, non-binary. I'm just teasing you. But hey, before we made this video, I was teasing Walmal because he was talking about dogs, and I overheard him say something about, dogs are trainable, but people, not so much, or something like that. I think you should expand on that.
Yeah. Oh, we actually had another trader online, and we were talking to him, and he was thinking about getting himself a dog, and he was going to go and get the dog trained. And I said, when you go and train a dog, the dog isn't the one that gets trained; it's us that gets trained, because we got to go and teach the dog what we want the dog to do, and then everybody has to get in line with that. Well, bringing that back even to trading, we've got all these different things that can go wrong, and all these great things that can go right. But we need to go and be training ourselves so that we go and do the right thing. And when things go against us, because things will go against us, being able to go and deal with those things as they come along. Train ourselves to go and do what we need to do. And TRO is exactly right. Unfortunately, we're our own worst enemies, and we don't train ourselves very well sometimes. And some of us, this is going to come across as harsh. I don't mean it to be, but some of us just seem to be not trainable. I mean, that's a tough thing to say to somebody, but sometimes, and this other trader rather, we were having a conversation before TRO got on the line, and we were talking about this whole idea that, better at something, unfortunately, is to take some hits, some guy with age-old advice that's absolutely true can tell you something that's absolutely bulletproof true, and you believe them, and you know it's true. You even write down your trading plan, but until you go and violate it so many times and keep on losing accounts and losing money, you finally say, oh, not only did the light bulb go off, but I'm actually going to walk in the path of the light. You can have a light bulb moment where the light bulb goes off, and you say, oh, I see the path, but you still got to walk the path.
Yeah. In fact, I just pulled up the H1 chart on the pound, and this hour, it broke above the 90, and it broke below the 80. So if you put a Walmal trade on, and either way, or both ways, there was opportunities to make pips, and
right.
But it might have only been 4 or 5, and maybe actually 10 pips there, close to 10 pips. And there's just so many traders that have been led down the 100 pip path, 100 pip or more path, and that's what they look for, and they just get killed, or they. Or they'll be in a position for days or weeks hoping that it comes back, as opposed to, the way we just do it, pip it to death, 1 pip here, 2 pips there, 5 pips there, and every now and then we get lucky, like if you were trading about, 8 hours or so, it crossed the 129.50 and went all the way up to 30.30. I mean, there was opportunity to make, 80 pips. But that,
right. And the great thing is you can get those opportunities, but don't count on those opportunities.
Yeah, you just have to be in the trade. But,
Exactly.
Another quick story about, not judging. I can remember, I think I've told this story in a video before, but I used to work for an all-suite hotel company. We were bigwigs. I was wearing 3-piece suits with French cuffs and cufflinks and all that nonsense. Anyway, we're at the L'Armitage Hotel out in L.A., exclusive. Come down for breakfast. I'm in my 3-piece suit. My buddy, co-worker, he's in his 3-piece suit. And there's this guy sitting at the bar with, I think Birkenstocks on and shorts and a Hawaiian shirt. And he's got a beard and kind of scraggly looking. Long story short, when he went out to the valet pulled up in a red Ferrari, handed the guy the keys, and he drove away. That taught me a lesson right there. You don't judge a book by its cover. And guess what, traders? The fastest 15 minutes in trading has gone by once again. So hopefully you'll tune in next time. And just remember, as you're trading, it's not what you see. Or I'm sorry, it's not what you trade. It's how you trade it. So go out there and drain the banks. This is the Rumpled One, over and out.